Hey y'all, today is an exciting day because I finally get my furniture. It's going to be delivered in three separate deliveries. It's from IKEA because I got a lot of questions about where did I get my furniture. Everybody gets their furniture from IKEA here. Y'all going to see some of the same furniture over and over. But it does the trick because y'all know I'm starting over and a lot of us do choose to not bring much of anything with us. I mean, I had a few small things, but I didn't bring much of anything. I got rid of all my stuff down to one 5 by 10 storage that of stuff that I just could not part with. I could not part with these things that I put in my 5 by 10 storage back in the States. But anyway, we're gonna get our my shipment today of furniture. I'm gonna talk to you about housing and how difficult housing is here. And I'm gonna say it's probably difficult in most of the major cities and countries where there's a lot of expat and immigrant activity in Europe. It's gonna be difficult. I don't think you could just show up with a wad of money and just say give me my pickings. It doesn't happen like that. So you need to be aware of that. And I'm going to tell you about being aware of being a guest in somebody else's country and what some of the rules that you need to play by, some of the unwritten rules we need to play by. Anyway, y'all take a look. Help me inventory my stuff coming in while we talk about housing. Okay, y'all, 8 steps to finding housing here in Portugal. These are some of the steps that I wish that I would have taken or known, but I've learned those lessons. I'm ready to pass that information on. It's 2 important caveats or notes that I want y'all to take and keep those in front of you while we go through these steps because I need you to keep these in mind. Number one, housing demand in Portugal in general is extremely high here, especially in Lisbon, Porto, Cascais, Algarve, okay? Those areas, the housing demand is off the rocker already, okay? And for me, there's 3 contributing factors. These are my opinions. Number one is the immigrants and the expats that are competing for housing, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, but just know that that's one of the factors. Another is that you still have locals that are in need of housing as well. And then thirdly, there's also this investor activity with like getting units and using those for Airbnbs or short-term rentals, coupled with the management companies kind of doing something sort of the same. And I'll talk about that in a minute as well. Number two that you need to really keep in mind while we're talking about these 8 steps to finding you a house is that you are a guest in a country who is your host. Please keep that in mind while we navigate through this process. So number one is you need to understand the residency requirement for a visa. You need to know that if you're applying for a visa, I'm talking about somebody who's not just coming to stay for 90 days, somebody who wants to stay over 90 days. You need a 12-month lease before you even apply for your visa. You have to bring that 12-month lease to your visa appointment, and that 12-month lease has to be registered by the local tax financials office. The owner of that unit has to do that, all right? It's important that you know that you're also probably going to be paying on this lease while you're not in it. You're going to probably be paying on this lease while you're not in it. And as we progress through these steps, you'll understand why I'm saying that. Since I'm telling you that, one of the tips I want to give you early on, especially if you're someone single, I am not, but if you're someone single, you need to look into your first lease being just a room. Because of what I've just said, you're going to be most likely paying on this lease and you're not going to be living in it. And know that in Portugal, you have to complete 1/3 of that contract before you can ask for a proper release with the proper notification. That is by law. And a lot of times, and I did this as well, I got something just temporary, even though it's a 12-month lease, but I made an agreement with the owner up front that, hey, I would like to be released after the 1/3 mark. I let that be known up front. Number two, you need to conduct at least one scouting trip to figure out what neighborhood or area you want to settle in. It is very difficult to look for housing, and you're not going to be able, trust me, you are not going to be able to be here the entire time because you must do your application from your home country. But it's difficult to look for housing and you haven't narrowed down what neighborhoods you want to be in. So first you need to kind of do the online research to figure out where you're really interested. Is it Porto? Is it Algarve? Is it Lisbon? Is it Cascais? Is it somewhere, Cumbria? Is it somewhere that you've kind of narrowed your focus on? But from there, you need to take a scouting trip and get a feel of what neighborhood you want to be in, because they're all different. They're all very, very, very different. All right. The next, number 3, is you want to give yourself at least 30 days in a top 5 list. And why I'm telling you that is, again, you're going to be doing this search process from outside of Portugal. You need to remember that there's a housing crisis, and you need to put this process closer to the end of your application. And what I mean by that is, on the checklist for your visa, you're going to have a lot of hurdles you have to get through. Like, I'm going to name some of them. Your NIF, getting a bank account, which I would couple your scouting trip with getting a bank account. I would try to get my bank account while I'm here scouting, but if you can't, just know it's going to be a long process. So you need to have a lot of that stuff done before you start looking for a housing, because it's going to help you with your housing search, okay? Another thing that you need to make sure, and number 4, is you need to make sure that you're using a credible housing platform. I'm going to put a list on the screen of the ones that I use. This is not an exhaustive list. There's more, or somebody might swear by others, but this is what I use. And you want to find someone who can be like a runner for you, somebody who could go to appointments to see the places in person. Please do not depend on the pictures and the videos and the listings to get a feel of that listing. A lot of times those pictures are years and years old. Same with the video. You need to send someone physically on your behalf to take photos, or take you on a FaceTime or a WhatsApp or something like that. I like actual videos from the person. And I used a service called Busy Bee Admin. I'll put the handle, because they're on Instagram. I'll put the handle on the screen and y'all could just look them up. But I use that service. But whatever service you use, just make sure that that's what they're doing. Now, you also have the option of using management companies. So at the end of this list, you see those management companies. I'm talking about Blue Ground. I'm talking about all the management companies at the bottom. You see them, Flat.io. You need to know about those. They are convenient for you. So you can use it to get a lease, like you're shopping on Amazon and just put in your cart and check out. But just know what you're doing. Number 1 is that those listing prices they put for the lease, most likely those are for if you want to pay an entire year up front. You want to pay an entire year for that particular listing price up front. And it is some people that do that, but I'm going to tell you that hurts the locals as well. You sitting here and so you can get the price you want, paying out front 12 months in advance, that hurts the locals. Another thing that you need to know about those management companies is that their fees are huge. Their fees are very low. So again, they're expecting you to pay a year out in advance. They will put you on a monthly payment, but just know that your listing price that you were looking at that was so fair and low, that now goes up significantly if you pay them monthly. And because of the convenience, they charge you a lot of money. They charge you a lot of money. And instead of putting all your money into this area, which is into the owners and the real estate agents, management companies' pockets, why don't you take some of that money and put it actually out into the economy? Like, buy your furniture in the economy if you want to buy it instead of bringing your furniture. Tip, so that people are actually benefiting from your overpayments, not just you and the other sector of a property owner. So that's what I wanted to say about management companies. Another thing you need to know about just under credible house platforms, using real estate agents. And I'm going to say this, and it may rub some people the wrong way, But unless that real estate agent is local, they're established here as a local Portuguese real estate agent or a local Portuguese management company, I'm going to say that their inventory is very restrictive. And the reason why that matters to us is because, like in the US, you have MLS, you can see anything you want to see. Not here. A real estate agent really can only show you what they have listing access to. And a lot of times, unless they're local, they don't have access to a lot. So if you use real estate agents, if you do, I'm going to say you need a lot of them. You're going to need a whole list of real estate agents that you're using in conjunction with one another. Same thing if you're using a relocation specialist company. Same thing. They're limited on their inventory. And so the same thing with those third-party management companies. Just know they're limited. I find it harder to go out looking for housing on your own, but I find my choice is a lot larger. I have a larger selection if I'm looking on my own versus through like a real estate agent. Number 5, you need to always negotiate your rent. Always negotiate your rent. This is part 1. I'm going to come back with part 2.